Kelly from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. Today I'm going to make gummy bears. Very easy to do. Last year, actually, says February 7th, so it's exactly 1 year ago, I canned cran grape, cran apple, and just plain cran juice. So I've let them sit this long and the flavor is really good. I opened one the other day, so I'm going to use it first. But you put 1 cup of juice in a saucepan. And then you put 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey or maple syrup. We like honey, and I'm just gonna guess 1, 2, 3, that. You're gonna mix it up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get it heated up on the stove. You don't want it to hit boiling. So I'm gonna turn you over to the stove and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, we're over here and we got it on number 6 on my electric stove, medium, a little bit above medium heat. You want it to heat to steaming hot, but not boiling. You never want it to hit boil. Once it gets to that point, you're going to turn it to as low heat as you can go. And it's at that point that you're going to taste it and make sure it is sweet enough. And if it is sweet enough, that's when we'll start adding the beef gelatin. It'll take 4 tablespoons for this batch. And you think 1 cup of juice, you're not going to make that many gummies. It makes a lot of gummies. I have just now got enough molds that I think I can do a whole batch without having to wait for them to firm up, get them out, and do some more. So we're just going to wait. When it gets steaming, I'll bring you back and then show you the next step. Okay, it's almost there. And before it gets there, I wanted to show you the gelatin that I'm using. Today I'm using this. My sister-in-law gifted me a few boxes of these at Christmas, so this is what I'm using today. Now, I have since bought a bag in bulk. This is just unflavored beef gelatin powder. It works the same thing. It's probably is the same thing that's in this. It's just you get it in bulk. But I got a better deal on this. It says homemade gummies on it. So I got this off of Amazon, I believe, or Walmart.com. I can't remember which one. But since it was a better deal, this is what I got. Okay. This is just on the verge of being a good simmer, and it's steaming. So we're going to turn it down to as low as it'll go. And it's at this time that you want to taste it and see if it's sweet enough. It actually probably could use another tablespoon of honey. There. Because I didn't sweeten the juice whenever I canned it. Just for this reason, so I can get these as sweet as I wanted them. Okay. Try this again. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, now what you do is you're going to take 1 tablespoon at a time. I know I've got 4 in here. It says 1 at a time, and you let it get dissolved each time you stir it in. And then you'll put a little more, let it get dissolved. A little more. Just keep doing that till it's gone. This will keep it from clumping. A little more. Last one's taking a little bit more stirring. Almost. Now you're going to turn it off, and then I'll turn you around and show you where I'm going to put this. Okay, we're back over here now, and I've got my molds. And I usually use like a Wilton icing squeeze bottle, but the last molds that I got come with this dropper, so I'm going to give this a try. And you're just going to fill all these molds. Do one of these little ones to see how. See over here. These are the mini bears. I'm going to try these out on my grandson and see if he likes them. This is a way you can have a good healthy snack and you control the sugar and the artificial ingredients that you buy in the store gummies. Plus it's honey, which I know because you heated the honey, it reduces a lot of the healthy benefits to them, but it's still a healthier alternative than sugar. It does take some time to do this. This dropper is pretty nice. I went faster using the bottle, but I was making a mess a little bit. I mean, it was still on the mold, so it wasn't bad, but this is keeping it more contained, or I'm not losing the liquid. So I'm going to get the rest of these filled. I'm going to show you what it's like. They all look like when they get filled, and then we'll get them in the fridge to firm up. Okay, here's what they look like. I'm going to put them in the freezer probably, and it'll only take 5 or 10 minutes. This one here is actually already gelling. Then I'll show you how easy it is to pop them out and how to store them. Okay, while we're waiting for that round of gummies to get done, I'm going to get the juice for the next one done. Now this is going to be strawberry. I've got 2 cups of strawberries. I froze these. These are from our strawberry plants last year. So I let them mostly thaw this morning. There's still some a little froze, but they'll be okay. You put them in a blender. Wipe my hands. Then you're going to put 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. All right, and then it says, this is the first time I'm using this particular one. And it says add the honey, which it says 2 tablespoons. So there's 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and add another one. There, so 3 tablespoons of honey. Now we're going to blend this up really good. And then we'll get it on the stove cooking. So I'll be back when it's blended. Okay, these are ready to be popped out. This is the fun part. Just take it up from the back. That one broke. They're not hard to get out. Why I'm having a little difficulty is with this weather change, my arthritis in my hands has really been bothering me. They feel good and firm. The family loves them. And they're a good, healthy snack with not all that preservative stuff. If you go to the store and read on the boxes, half the stuff you can't pronounce or you don't know what it is. This here is simply juice, cran grape juice, and honey, gelatin, and you have a nice snack that's very tasty. Cute little gummy bears. Now, I'll keep these in the fridge because they last up to a month in the fridge. I think you can leave them out, but you know, I mean, if you're out and the counter's warm, everything, they're going to get soft. They're going to stick. So I keep mine in the fridge. They don't last very long anyway. I mean, if you wanted to do more research, I'm sure you could leave them out. Oh, these are sweet. These are my new ones. I've always had the bigger. I'll put them in the little one, I think. Yeah, them's just the right size for my little grandson. If he likes them. I'd say they'd be fun in his mouth. Little kids like different textures. So I'm going to get them strawberry ones going next. And then we'll be set on gummies for the week. A good snack that, especially right before bed, it won't bloat you or make you feel blah when you go to bed. But it'll satisfy a craving for a snack. So I'm going to get these finished and then we'll be back to do the strawberry ones. Okay, we're back with the strawberry. I just see it pureed up really good. I've got a Vitamix blender. It does a really good job. Regular blender is going to do it too. You just might have to blend a little longer. Now, I added the honey to this and I tasted it and it was still a little sour. I did put a 1/4 cup of pure cane sugar in it. Tasted it and it changed it. So now what I'm going to do is add the gelatin to this before it heats up. I don't know if it's got something to do with we used fresh frozen berries instead of the canned juice. But anyway, it's got to heat up, and as soon as it starts to hit boil, you take it off the heat. So I'm medium, between 6 and 7 on my stove here. So we're going to let it get heated up. Smells good, them fresh strawberries. I'm ready to get my other strawberries plants in the raised bed we have out there and expand our strawberries for this year. Won't be long, I'll be able to do seed starting. And I'll show you guys how I do that with limited space because I don't have a greenhouse. So I make it work though. For those of you that hear or see little Dachshunds running around and one mini Aussie, no, I don't have that many dogs. I've got one miniature Dachshund. Her name's Phoebe. But I dog sit. These are my grand doggies. So while their parents are at work, they spend the day with Grandma. And yes, I do have them pretty spoiled. eaten up pretty good. Now this is the first time I'm actually using fresh or fresh frozen fruit. So you're going to see how they turn out just like I do for the first time. I'm trying to rotate stock in my freezer, and I seen I had a couple of packs of strawberries in there yet. And I found a recipe that said you could do that for gummies, and I thought, well, I'm going to give this a try. Another thing we do with fresh strawberries, which we kind of got a little burnout on it, we was having it all the time. With your blender, you take frozen strawberries. You have to freeze them first because you want them froze solid. You put them in the blender, and you put in, I think it's 1 or 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. It's according to how many strawberries you put in. You just put in, I'd say for 2 cups of strawberries, you're putting 2 cups of whipped cream. I'd have to look it up, heavy whipping cream. Anyway, you blend it really good and pour it in a container, and you got the best strawberry ice cream. You let it chill in the freezer for a couple hours, and it dips up so nice. Now, if it lasts, since it's a small amount, most of the time it gets eaten. But if it would last till the next day or whatever, it will be harder. But if you just let it set out just a little bit, it's so good and creamy. And that's the only 2 items that's in your ice cream, is strawberries and cream. And it's a good, healthier version to be eating ice cream. Getting really close. It didn't say to stir constantly, but I don't want anything sticking, so I'm going to stir it. And I did not strain it. I don't see a lot of seeds in it anyway because they get pulverized in my blender. So we're going to try it with not straining it. And if we see the seeds bother us the next time, I will strain. And also, if you're blending it up and the puree looks thick, just add a little water to it to get it to where it's pourable. I did actually add just a little bit, not much, but you want it to be runnier so you can get it in that dropper to put in your gummy molds. Okay. It's getting close to bubbling, and it said don't actually let it boil. So I'm going to bring you over to the other side, and we're going to get this put into molds. there they are. I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then I'll show you what they look like when they get gelled. Okay, I left the strawberry gummies in the freezer for double the time it said, around 40 minutes. I got busy doing stuff, thought, well, I need to go check them. All right, they're semi-okay. The little ones, I couldn't hardly get them out. Now, I know what I did wrong. And before I say that this is a recipe error and not my error, I will do it again. And, you know, when these are gone. Are we going to eat them? Definitely. The taste is awesome on them. But what happened was when I said that the puree was really thick and you could add water, I don't think you should. I added about 1/8 of a cup of water. And when I did that, I probably should have added another tablespoon of gelatin because I added to the liquid. So there was more liquid in it than the recipe said for the gelatin that I put in. So the next time I do it, I'm going to go by the recipe exact. And if I do add more water, I'm adding more gelatin. But the flavor is awesome on these. And, I mean, they're just soft. But even though they look kind of wonky, they're really good. So I had one successful gummy session, which I knew them would turn out. I've made them before. This, like I said, I'd never made them, and I shouldn't have messed with the recipe. So now that I know that if I add more liquid, I've got to add more gelatin. I thought about that early on, but it was too late. They was done in the molds. So I thought, well, I'm going to see how they turn out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Shelly from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. Until next time, bye for now. One little thing I forgot to add. I looked up just one of the popular brands of fruit snacks. And I didn't put on here what kind it was or anything. I just I've got a picture that's going to be on the end here of the list of ingredients. And that's what I was talking about on knowing what's in your gummies. So anyway, I thought if you wanted to see it, I'll have the picture at the end. And there is no red dye 40 in these, but they've got the beautiful red color anyway. And that is something my husband and I is trying to avoid. All the foods and drinks that's got the red dye 40 in it. So anyway, that was just a little FYI. Bye for now.